Hello, my name is Alex. I am an artist, writer, and JoJo enthusiast. What's this about? Over a couple months ago, I watched this video. I'm someone who likes working on different projects, and I thought to myself, sure, why not? The video makes good points on what could be explored further, and I really like the idea of seeing Giorno again. Golden Wind is easily one of my favorite parts, and I could not keep off of it even if I wanted to. The themes of crime, drama, action mixed with strong character development, done incredibly well by Araki, makes me very attached to part 5. And because I'm delusional, I decided I'm capable of making a whole animated sequel on my own. This includes script, design, composition, animation, and advertising, which is a good amount of work. So I've decided to start already, and that's what this video is for. Golden Wind is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure part number 5, following the development of Giorno Giovanna, a young boy who wants to take drugs off the streets of Italy. We watch as he goes from a minor criminal to actual boss of Passione in just 1 week, meeting and losing friends in the process. It might be just a bit rushed, but the change is very real and very organic. Still, there were multiple loose ends due to how short the story really is, spanning just a few days. Though there are multiple light novels, there's practically no canon explanation of what happened afterwards. As stated in the video by Caleb IA, Giorno practically cuts Italy's main drug supply and leaves other possible gangs and Passione underdogs with their focus on him. On top of that, what happens to Fugo after deciding not to betray the boss and realizing he was right about what would happen if they did? Other things include Polnareff's state as a ghost, Trish being left with no family, Giorno actually being boss, and how this would even affect Italy and its society. So now, it's Giorno's duty to stabilize Italy, ward off all threats, and maybe deal with a new enemy. I love this idea a lot. But there was just one thing I wanted to really explore further: Giorno and Dio. It's a dynamic that is clear, but I think not touched enough throughout Golden Wind. Maybe little details, but I think more was needed. I also wanted to touch further on the topic of corruption, trafficking, and more of the relations aspect. I think that all that's left for Giorno's development is how he'd managed to handle a whole mafia on his own. Meaning what maturity and growth he'd have to undergo in order to do things right, especially now that Bucciarati is gone. And the story I have ready. It has been worked on for a few months, and I'm hoping it's at least interesting enough. I think it suits well with the original undertones. It'll keep going with tones of international criminal organizations, political corruption, and how it affects not just Italy's most vulnerable, but everywhere around the world. That's not the main conflict, however. That comes after, for what Giorno will have to face when a new criminal lord decides to take matters personal over old grudges. While I obviously can't give too many details, it's definitely what I'd call a complex story, which is what I enjoy doing the most. The initial pace will be more about resolving, figuring out, and discovering what's going on before it quickly speeds up into the real conflict, similar to the climax in part 6. Now, obviously, this project will take a while. The hardest thing this far is getting the art style right, plus animation and storyboarding. It is a, admittedly, exhaustive process, and it's likely I'll cut corners by making assets and probably tweening more than doing frame by frame. It's probably going to give One Punch Man PNG slide more than David production animation. And that's honestly a risk I'm willing to take. I'm a one-person crew here who's just really ambitious, but at the end of the day, I can only manage so much. On another note, the voice acting. That's kinda hard. This project is designed to give the experience of watching an anime rather than being one. The audio would be composed of compiled voice lines to just give the illusion of actual voices being there. So if someone were to actually know Japanese, listening would probably be uncomfortable because the actual dialogue would be in the subtitles, not the audio itself. It would be a dream of mine to make this into an actual thing with actual voice acting, But then again, given my position and skill, it's simply not something I can manage. Honestly, I'd rather make something kind of bad than use AI. Ever, under any circumstances. And that's another point. There would be no AI usage in any way. Not for the writing, storyboarding, audio, editing, design, animation, or any other feature. There could be cases of tracing, be it for guidelines, volume, or just because I refuse to draw all the golden wind backgrounds on my own. I would actually die. Because of the complexity in the angles, character proportions, and other relevant things for the design, the art style would be kind of a hybrid. I would not trace over actual character frames, but I do have to manage designing the art style so that it's not that much, because it is a little difficult to have. With that out of the way, if you're interested in development, I do have TikTok and Twitter, which is where I'll most likely make most updates. If this gains enough traction, there is a possibility of making a Discord server dedicated to updates and others. I highly doubt it, but it's something that's in the air. With that, that's pretty much it for now. It would definitely be something of over 15 episodes that I pray to God I can manage, because the base of the story itself could probably even be split into 2 seasons if it was to be longer. But no, definitely not, given execution and given things that I have to do. That would be the most important information, or what I would like to share the most right now as an additional advance. I love Giorno, I love JoJo's, and I'm really excited to be sharing this project. It's just starting, it's basically on its first steps, but I thought, who knows, maybe someone out there had a similar idea, or someone out there is excited too, especially given, Steel Ball Run, dates, and everything they're doing as of now. I plan on releasing a teaser somewhere in late May, mid-June, as long as things go well. And I'm wishing me luck, and I'm wishing you a good day.